Thank you all so much for stopping by today. So I wanted to show y'all how this wind is blowing, and I knew it was coming, so I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, it's a surprise. Let me tell y'all, honey, those temperatures drop. So I want y'all to put in the comments right now, what are the temperatures where you're at? I had to put on a so wet shirt here because yeah, they drop really quick. Different from the Savannah area, that's for sure. But I think a lot of people are being affected by like this cold dropping, or the cold weather, like they're dropping the temperatures. But in the next couple of days, it is going to warm back up. But I was like, I was not prepared as much as I want to be. So as I'm standing out here now, I am so thankful that my fall crops are doing great, because this is the thing, y'all. I had went to the store. Like I said, I knew the cold weather was coming. I went to the store. I do have frost blanket. Can't find them yet. So I went ahead and got some more. And I worked late yesterday. I was a little bit exhausted. So I just didn't feel like coming out to do it. And that's what happens sometimes. So some of the containers that I have that I want to process, like my basil, and I had another plant, I actually took those in the garage because basil cannot withstand. And it wasn't quite freezing, like 32. It may have been about 34, 35. But I'm going to turn the camera around because these sweet potato vines really got affected. But that's okay, because I am due to change the containers out anyway. So let's go ahead. Let's get started. I want to share with y'all today about some radishes that we're going to thin. I want to talk to you today about when you direct sow, what to do. And so that's what we're going to get started. I feel like my nose is just like, oh, okay. Let's get started, y'all. Really quick, it didn't take a total hit, but it did take a little hit. So it did get affected by this cold weather. The sweet potato vine is another one that does not tolerate frost very well. And it looks like my petunias here took just a little bit of a hit too. But again, like the collards and the kale, which are fall/winter hardy, depending on the variety and depending on the temperatures. And the reason why I say that is because some of them, maybe around 27 degrees, you may have to cover them. But I am going to cover these. But we got another cold night tonight, and after that, it's going to get back up in the 70s and the lows in the 40s. But I'm going to get prep. And as a matter of fact, what I've done is I had some of these too. Y'all are going to hear this quite a bit. I had some of these that I get from Home Depot. They're like ladder mesh, but I use these as kind of like, what do you call it? Support to hang my, I feel like my hands are shaking. Support to hang my frost blankets on. And I'll show you how to do that in another video. And I also just have some metal wiring that I put over there. I gotta go get the bricks, and then we're going to at least set them up and get them prepped so that when there is a lot of cold weather coming, then if I have the supports in place, all I gotta do is just put the blankets on there. So one of the things I'm super excited to see is my shallots popping up. And slowly but surely they are popping up, but that's not what this video is about. So we're going to get focused right here on the radishes. So we direct sowed these a few weeks ago, and this is what I tell a lot of people. If you're just starting to grow, you kind of want that instant gratification, try growing radish. But listen up, y'all, make sure that's something that you like. If you don't like radishes, don't grow that as like a simple, easy type instant gratification deal. Grow something you like, so that way you can enjoy it. But we direct sowed these, and basically what direct sow means is we did like a little small trench, and we put the seeds in directly into the soil. So we didn't start these inside. And since radishes are a root vegetable, then a lot of them I like to direct sow. So here's the thing on why we're thinning them. So let me tell you why I always do like 2 to 3 seeds per, like, so they said about 2 to 3 inches apart. So I did like 2 to 3 inches of direct sown radishes. And the reason why I did that is because, just say for instance, you're garden planting and you want so many radishes, like in this space. Well, if they don't germinate, then you're going to have an empty space. So when I do 2 to 3, it's really to help with germination. And so as you can see, these are very good germination. I think, yeah, most of them are like 2 to 3. But now what I have to do so that I can allow the radishes to start to grow and get bigger is because it's so close to each other, I need to thin these radishes out and make them like 1 every 2 inches now. So that is what we're going to do. And some of them are a little further ahead than others because I was trying to wait. These seem to be growing a little bit slower. And so now they're starting to get their true leaves right here. And I fed them. So now I feel like it's time to go ahead and thin them out. And so that way they can get bigger. And probably in another 2 to 3 weeks, y'all, we can go ahead and we can harvest them. And that's how easy and simple it is to thin. And so with radishes, a lot of them, I've grown varieties that are ready in about 14 to 28 days. Some that get a little bit bigger, they may take a little bit longer, but simple, super easy to grow. And I like to really slice them up kind of thin and put them on my lettuce, or my salad. Just add them like that. So that's what we're going to do. And so I just wanted to talk to you about why do you need to thin your radishes? And that's why, because you want to give them enough room for the radish bulbs to get, big. But I also like to do 2 to 3 per the area, just so we can make sure we have good germination. So really quick, there's different way to thin your radishes and different ways to thin plants. Now, since these are radishes, a lot of my leafy greens I do the exact same way, but I do not just throw them away. I actually use them, and you can put those on salads as well. And then a lot of the leafy greens, they're kind of like at a microgreen stage, so you can do that as well. But before I get started, what I like to do, now if you do it a different way, definitely put that in the comments. But what I like to do is I like to cut. First of all, I like to look at both of the radishes in this area, and I want to see how strong the stems are, what the leaves look like, are they leggy? So what I'm going to do is the one that looks the weakest, which all of these look good, but the ones that look the weakest, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off at the soil line because I don't want to disturb the other ones. Now, I have known people to like very carefully separate them, and so now you have like 2 plants, and if that works, I think that's great. But what I do, just to try not to disturb the roots too much of the other ones that we're going to keep, I go ahead, cut it off at the soil line, and again, I use it on my salad, so nothing is really lost. Okay, so happy to put these gloves on, y'all. The wind is blowing, but I'm just going to take a couple of these radishes to show you, just so it doesn't make the video very long. But as you can see, we have 3, as a matter of fact, right here. And so of these 3, first thing I'm doing is I'm looking down at the stems. And out of the 3, this one seems a little, not just a little small. It doesn't seem round and thick like the other ones. So let me do it so y'all can see. I'm going to cut it off right here at the soil level. And there we go. Now again, we're not throwing these away, y'all. We are saving these. We're not throwing them away. So now I'm down to 2. Now, they look about the same, but this one's kind of more upright. I see some new leaf growth growing. So I'm not going to make it like a long process. I'm just going to look, whichever one looks the best, that's what we're going to do. So to me, this one right here looks the best. So I'm going to take this one right here, and we're going to cut it off. And so now we're down to 1 per this 2-inch area right here. And so those other 2, they'll just the roots and the stems, they'll just kind of, you know, disintegrate in the soil. Now let's work on this one right here. So let's see how many we have. First, in this area, we have 2. And looking at this immediately, this one looks stronger. The stems are thicker, it's more upright. So I'm just gonna come right around here and we're going to, we're gonna cut this off at the soil line. That might have been 3, y'all. No, it was 2. It was 2. So we're gonna cut that off at the soil line. So I'm just gonna go through this row right here. I'm gonna go through this row and I'm gonna do that for all of them, and then we'll have everything, we'll just have everything thinned out. And so, like I said, in about 2 weeks, we'll be harvesting radishes. Really easy and really quick to grow. So I had to take a little intermission because I always tell people if I can keep my ears warm, then I'm okay. And my ears were getting cold. My little pinky right here, a little cold too. Parts of my feet, but that's okay. I'm gonna go in. But so that's how we thin. That's why you thin. And so I just wanted to show y'all really quick, get out this sun. These are the radishes that we thin. So what I'm going to do now, go in, rinse them off real good, and when I make a salad, I can add some of those to the salad. So I hope this was helpful. Let us know in the comments, are you growing radishes? Now, I've told y'all before, I got to do better about labeling. And I'm not quite sure which type of radish that is, but the other ones, because we constantly and consistently sow radishes, and I did find my garden marker, so I'm going to make sure I put the variety on there so that I can let you all know. So as always, thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure you share this video with your family and your friends, and if you're not a subscriber, go ahead, tap the subscribe button. Make sure you tap that bell so that you can receive notification each and every time we upload a new video. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and until the next video, bye bye.